Hi, this is SeaLife Cameras. We're here to show you some important information on how to properly remove the O-ring, clean and inspect the O-ring, and install the O-ring in the DC800, the DC1000 camera. So let's start off by first removing the O-ring. What you'll do is place thumbs about in the location that you see here and push upwards. You'll see how that releases one corner or part of the O-ring. Lift the O-ring and remove it from the groove. It's very important not to use any tools or sharp objects, for that can cut or damage the O-ring. What we're going to do now is to use some of the tools provided in the care kit to clean the groove and the sealing surfaces. First, with the brush, carefully go through the groove and remove any sand, dirt, hair, or debris. Then use the cotton cloth provided, dampen that slightly, and go along the sealing surface as shown. What you want to make sure is do a visual inspection that there is no sand, dirt, or debris or hair that is on the sealing surface or in the groove. We're going to also use the cotton cloth to clean the O-ring. First, make sure that the cotton cloth is clean and that it's slightly dampened with water, with fresh water. So, picking up the O-ring, wrapping the towel, the cloth around it, and lightly pulling the O-ring through the damp cloth. That will remove any hair, dirt, debris, sand, and so on. Make sure not to stretch the O-ring. When you are complete, visually look at the O-ring to make sure that it is perfectly clean. Now we're going to inspect for any damage to the O-ring. By carefully lightly pinching the O-ring and running the O-ring through your fingers, you should be able to feel any cuts, tears, or other damages to the O-ring. Again, make sure not to stretch the O-ring. It's also good to have sufficient lighting to be able to see any damages to the O-ring. The O-ring should appear and feel smooth without any dirt, cuts, damages, or tears. Now we're going to show you how not to install the O-ring. If you start by pushing the O-ring on one side and just laying the O-ring into the groove, you'll see that there isn't enough O-ring left at the corner. This will result in twisting or stretching the O-ring, which is not good. The correct way to install the O-ring is to push one end into the groove, as shown, and with both of your thumbs, push forward. What this will do is leave sufficient amount of O-ring so that at the end you don't have to stretch or twist the O-ring. Now that the O-ring and the O-ring sealing surfaces are clean, it's time to install the camera, the inner camera, inside the housing. First, make sure that the inner camera is clean and also that the inner camera lanyard is removed. What we'll do before installing the camera is to place one moisture muncher into the slot provided on the inside of the housing. The moisture muncher should click or snap into place. Now, make sure that the camera is flat seated, firmly seated inside the housing. So it should sit flat. Before closing the housing, give one more inspection to make sure that the O-ring is in the groove, the O-ring is clean, and also that the sealing surfaces are clean. Now, carefully close the housing, engage the latch, and close and lock the latch in place. Give one more inspection around the entire sealing area to make sure nothing is trapped inside the sealing area. Possible things like the lanyard should not be trapped in there. So, you're ready to go. Happy diving.